Alright, what is going on, everybody? Yeah, we're doing this again. Again, I try not to do this often, but this was a good time. I am on my way from work to Lorcana night, as usual. And yeah, I think a lot of people think I might be talking about the standard bans for Magic the Gathering. Not at all. If you don't follow Magic, they recently banned like 7 cards from the standard format, and they just had their big kind of Worlds event, a Pro Tour event, and yeah, there was like a whole bunch of stuff going on there. But I actually don't really care about that. I have not played a single game of Standard in person, at least, or maybe on Arena, but definitely not in person for several years. They actually did make some changes to Historic, which is kind of exciting. They unbanned Counterspell, which I'm actually excited for. I'll probably actually make a video on that at some point. But this is a good time to talk about kind of the state of Lorcana and just where things are at, because I know a lot of people are talking about it, as we just had the Worlds tournament where DKP won. I should have put out something, because that was who again, it's kind of silly to talk about it now. Again, not many people are going to believe me, but it's fine. But that was definitely my pick for who's going to win. It was really interesting in the manner in which he won. But yeah, definitely was the person that I was like, yeah, this person's going to win the event. So anyways, congrats to DKP. Like, obviously, like, super cool there. Was a little bit of a disappointing viewer experience. I will say, I was traveling. I was like in like a remote area, so it was a little bit hard to get like service and everything. But when I did, I definitely watched, and that was super cool. But in the times where I did have service, like especially in the beginning, they were late every single time they tried to start. Like, we were expecting them to start coverage. It started late, which I don't understand how. I can understand for the DLC events and for some other stuff. They have only so many people, and they had all of this time to prepare, and yet somehow, I think on day 1, they started like at least an hour past when it was expected. Again, unless I'm wrong, but I think for the most part, yeah, that's what everyone was expecting. And so that's a little concerning in terms of coverage. It was nice to see that I believe the commercial breaks, or the times in which there was not a whole lot going on, we were just kind of waiting around, watching a blank screen, was fairly low. They had some nice things to kind of fill the gaps. They had the players like draw cards, make like drawings of the cards from memory. That was super cool, like super cute and enjoyable. So, again, they're slowly adding some things. But the big thing that I want to talk about was the stuff that they announced during the streams. So obviously everyone was expecting the new DLC announcements, which we did get. And we got a whole bunch, but not exactly in the form that a lot of people were maybe hoping for. Again, you had a whole bunch of announcements for like EU, Asia, there's Australia, all these different places. And also, that's great, right? Like, I think expanding in all the different regions, right, that is all good. No complaints. But then you have the North America announcements that, again, a lot of people very quickly were like, really? And again, maybe there's more. I don't really know. I would expect not, but I'm just very confused by what's going on. So they announced 3 for North America. One in, that person just straight up ran a red light. All right, cool. Florida. Love driving in Florida. But sorry, I'm trying to. It's hard to do this when you're focusing on driving and trying to do some analysis. Yes, they announced 3 DLCs, right? It was Milwaukee, Richmond, and Indianapolis, I believe, is the order. I believe, yeah. So, and I don't remember exactly the dates, but I believe like in that kind of Q1, Q2, Q3 potentially, or whatever. And that's it. Right, and so I think very quickly a lot of people like put those on a map and went, huh? They're very much on the east side, but it's funny because they're on the east side, but they're not even on like close to me. And again, I'm not being biased and saying like, it should be super close to me, it should be right in my neck of the woods. Not necessarily. Again, the Richmond one is fairly accessible. However, I won't be able to go to that one. I have other engagements going on during that time. So yeah, this is kind of the issue. Is like, you know, last time it was all about ticket attendance, and it seems that while there will be less, there will be more seats available, or at least that's what everyone is thinking. We don't have confirmation on that. So again, all these things are very up in the air. So I'm trying not to be too pessimistic. Like, I'm trying not to just be like, this sucks, they did a terrible job. Right, and there will be, I believe, I am planning on going to the Indianapolis event. So it's like, okay, there's like one that I can go to. I don't know on the format, which we'll get to, by the way, because again, I don't think they made clear exactly which ones were going to be the other formats. But we'll see. But yeah, so I'm able to go, but I think a lot of people were not pleased with the amount and the placement of them. And, you know, again, I was talking to my girlfriend and, you know, telling her about like how, like, yeah, Magic does, you know, tons of events all around the country, and they do a very good job of placing them right in good areas. And she said, oh, well, that's Magic. They've been around for 30 years. And I said, yeah, they've done the work already. They've done all of, you know, what you need to do to figure out, okay, here's how we do events. I don't really understand why Lorcana hasn't emulated. I understand why they're not just straight up copying and they're trying to do their own thing. And also, again, Lorcana is still a growing game. So I completely understand that. I'm not saying we need 20 events or whatever, you know, whatever, I don't know what the number of Magic events is, but 3 events only in pretty much only in the northeast, you know, central, you know, north central area-ish of the United States, when again, presumably, and again, I don't have the data around me, a lot of your player base is scattered around, right? And yeah, it just kind of seems odd. It seems odd. That's what I'll say. It seems odd. And again, only 3, and right. And so, like, hey, again, just like in my scenario, the one that was like closest to me, I have a conflicting engagement, so I can't go to that one. What happens if I, you know, was not willing to buy a plane ticket to the Indianapolis event, and I would just say, all right, guess I'm just not competing. So yeah, you know, that all seems not great. Again, you know, be interested to hear other people's thoughts on it as well. I think, you know, again, with all of these things, there was a lot of patience in the beginning, and as I've been talking with people in the community, you know, people have been giving them less and less leeway, right? There's less and less of this mentality of, oh, you know, they're just starting out, this is the first year of competitive events, you know, give them some slack. That mentality is slowly eroding, and I worry about what'll happen. And that combined with the rotation system. So I don't believe I did in my set review of set 7. I believe I talked a little bit about, set 8. I talked about a little bit about the rotation system, which we have incoming, which again, I am 100% in favor for. I think a lot of people in the community are excited for rotation, as again, there'll just be this breath of new life infused into the game. But I've also heard a lot of people talk about how they are not excited about losing access to their cards. Again, we have the Infinity format, which, as I kind of hinted to, will be a supported format, and we'll have a main event Infinity format at some point. Again, I think they mentioned that for like one of the EUs, it'll be Infinity. I think they said it was the third one. I don't know if they said that for the American one as well, like the United States one as well, or North America as well. So I don't really know exactly how that's going to go down, but we know there will be plenty of opportunities to play the Infinity format. We also have the Infinity Weekend coming up in a few months, or a month or so. I don't remember what the date was for it, but right. So we have this Infinity format, but I'm not really sure exactly how popular or how well received that format is going to be. I've heard some people that have said, hey, I'm going to try to play the Infinity format and only the Infinity format. And I asked the question, I said, what happens if there's not enough interest in the Infinity format, and there's not again, my game store so far seems to be playing the core constructed format, and will probably be sticking to that. Again, I don't have confirmation on that. I'm not running the store, obviously, but right, that seems to be the idea, and there doesn't seem to be enough interest in the game in general, or specifically in the Infinity format, that would lead me to believe that the store that I go to, or any of the stores in the area, are likely to, again, likely, this could change, but unlikely that they do a whole extra Lorcana event every week for the Infinity format, right? Like with Magic, you have one night that is standard, another night that is modern, maybe you have a pauper night, and then also you have the draft format, the limited format, on most Friday nights, right? So there's enough interest in Magic for that, because there's just all these different modes of play. I didn't even mention Commander, right? And so that's concerning if someone says, hey, if the Infinity format isn't supported well enough, or there's not enough interest, I'm just gonna not play. So yeah, that's a potential concern, and that combined with, hey, these core constructed DLCs are not in my area, not going to go to those, right? So there's all these things that just kind of seem to be compounding, which have me concerned about the growth. Again, the big thing here is growth. The goal is to increase, right, increase the number of players in the game, and if you're not doing that, that's potentially concerning. So anyways, that's I just wanted to kind of communicate that. Otherwise, I was kind of pleasantly enjoyed or appreciated the coverage, a nice celebration of the Lorcana community. It was good to see with Zach Bivens, right, and what's his name, and DKP in the finals, and there was a lot of camaraderie there. Yeah. This person behind me is swerving and doesn't seem to be able to see. All right. A lot of stuff happens on the road in Florida, guys. I swear, I often see accidents everywhere I go. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know if you guys. No, you guys can't see it. So anyways, yeah, there was other announcements, they announced the promos and showed some other stuff, like the Dragonfire and stuff like that. Will be at more DLCs, but then they showed the other promos. So there was I think it was Pegasus, Mulan, and Simba cards. They also confirmed the Pegasus will be confirmed, brought back in Fabled, so that's cool. So we get some little bits of information there. Oh, I forgot about the huge thing about with DLCs, with the format change. They are adding essentially a second day of competition, right? So and they are removing the 2-game format. So that's another interesting thing. They so far have not announced any kind of changes, or kind of adjustments to how much time is in the round or anything like that. But yeah, it looks like they are removing the 2-game format, going back to best of 3 games for all aspects of play, and then changing the grand finals of a DLC to the best of 5, just like it was at the Worlds event. Again, that's all fine. That's just like Top Cut stuff. But in terms of everyday participants, it's nice that there'll be a second day of competition. And they also added a promo that you get for winning 5 games. So it doesn't care at all about, what your point total is. Did you make Top Cut or whatever? It just asks the question, did you win 5 games? 5 matches, I guess I should say. If you win 5 matches, boom, you get this promo card. I really, really like that, because one of the things for me was I often would make day 2s of Magic events, of Magic Grand Prix, and I would obviously play, but then it would be obviously tougher competition. I'd do okay, but not well enough to make Top Cut, or even get any kind of monetary reward. I think there was one case where I was 1 match away and I'd lost in the very last match, right? And so that's super, again, it's understandable, but it's obviously you want people to be able to kind of feel good and walk away with something. So I really, really like that idea. Try to be a little bit positive here, right? So that I think is super great, because you play on day 1, you're trying to make day 2, you make day 2, and even if you are, it's a super Hail Mary about whether you're gonna make Top Cut or not, you at least have something to play for. And again, I would presume that most people who make day 2 will receive the promo. I don't remember exactly how many rounds they mentioned, or what the cutoff would be for day 2 or anything like that. But presumably, that's the case. So I guess if you or no, I think they said everybody. Does everybody play? I don't remember. But anyways, regardless, I think adding the 5 wins promo is great, right? So maybe you do well enough to make it to day 2 with 4 wins, let's put it that way, 4 match wins, and then on day 2 you're essentially just trying to get the 1 win, get the promo, and then if you don't make Top Cut, maybe you don't care, right? So, or maybe you feel happy that you got something. That's my whole point. So I really like the idea of that type of promo. That makes sense. And then they announced the Elsa as I forget, one of the, maybe it's the top 64 promo. I don't remember what that was, but yeah, super good stuff, new playmats and stuff like that. So all those announcements were good. Yeah, again, my concern just remains about the DLCs, what they're going to be like, and keeping interest in the game. That's my goal. I really like this game. I hope everybody sees that I'm not crapping on the game. I really enjoy the game. Again, I'm on my way to a Lorcana event right now. Enjoy playing the game and would like to compete. I think I'm at a stage where, again, I compete in competitive EDH tournaments, and that's more of just having a good time. So for me personally, I'm going to these events to have fun and not really trying to spike them or whatever. So again, generally just having a good time, but am kind of absent of tournaments that I can go to kind of compete at and kind of scratch that itch, and it's just fun to travel to. And so it's a little disappointing that there's only 3 of them in North America, and one of them I can't go to, and the other 2 are particularly far away. So again, we'll see what happens when we eventually get to buy tickets and what the cap is for the events. Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about. I think that was it. Again, not trying to be so pessimistic. I'm trying to sound alarms. There's been a lot of people talking online. There's been a petition as well. I think the petition is not going to really do much. I think they really just need to see, this is where it's unfortunate, is they really just need to see what the attendance or the impact on the game is, and it's hard to get that type of feedback. Maybe the petition is enough, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have the link to the petition either. I just saw it online. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, that is gonna do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed my little chat and my little roadside setup. That's not the word. Anyways, car setup. Hopefully the audio is good. I know sometimes it could be a little bit shaky. But yeah, again, I try not to do this too much, but this is a good time to talk about it as the World's event just ended this past weekend. So again, congrats to DKP, and excited for more Lorcana, rotation coming, new cards, right? Still going to do the set reviews and everything. So look out for those. And yeah, thanks again for watching. See you guys in the next video.